ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
So okay, good morning everybody. So we are discussing about applications of motional EMF. So motional EMF is how much? It is E is equals to BLV. B is the magnetic field, L is the length of the conductor, V is the velocity of the conductor. So what is the direction of motional EMF? So by using Fleming's right hand rule, So forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, thumb indicates the direction of the current carrying conductor, and central finger indicates the direction of induced current or induced EMF. So that is E is equals to BLV. Now, so one more application here. So here so for example this is the conductor, so facing east and west, facing, let us say it is east and it is west, and it's moving downwards through the distance y. So for example, so this conductor, if a conductor facing east west direction, in this situation this is east and this is west. If the conductor facing east and west, it moves downwards, definitely certain amount of flux must be generated due to the motion of this conductor. Certain amount of flux must be generated. Why the flux generated here? Where it comes from? So remember that is the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. What is the direction of horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field? This is east, west, north, south. So the direction of the Earth's magnetic field always from horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field always from south to north. This is south to north. But if the conductor facing east west, it moves downwards or upwards. If the conductor moves downwards or upwards, definitely it cuts the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. If it's moving downwards, it's cutting the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. It moves upwards, then it cuts the horizontal component of Earth. You have to imagine that. So the direction of horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field is from south to north. This is south direction and this is north direction. This is south to north, and this is conductor is pointing towards east west. East west direction. So east west direction, if the conductor moves downwards or upwards, so then what happens? This is the direction of the magnetic field, and it moving downwards or upwards, definitely it cuts the horizontal component of its magnetic field. So that means here horizontal component of its magnetic field, directed from south to north, no doubt about this. In this situation, if the conductor pointing east and west direction, if it moves upwards or downwards, if it moves upwards or downwards, then it cuts BH, that means horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So this conductor cuts the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So flux generated. So what is the flux generated? Flux formula is phi is equals to BA, where B is nothing but BH. Here B is nothing but BH, horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. What is area here? Length of the conductor does not changes, but if it moves downwards, this component must be varies. So that's why area is Ly, let us say. So induced EMF E is equals to minus d phi by dt. So minus d by dt of BH Ly. So that is equals to minus BH L into dy by dt. So E is equals to minus BH LV. E is equals to minus BH LV. So this is the induced EMF in this situation. Induced EMF in this situation. So that means what is the situation here? What is the situation? If the conductor pointing towards east and west direction, then it moves downwards or upwards. Then this conductor maybe moves downwards or upwards. Then it generates certain amount of flux. The rate of change of flux is nothing but induced EMF. EMF is equals to minus BHLV. Magnitude of EMF is BLV. So this is the, let us say this is the direction of motion of the conductor, and the so that is the situation. If the same conductor in this situation, if the same conductor pointing north south direction, if the same conductor pointing the north south direction, it does not cuts BH. It does not cuts BH. So induced EMF is 0. So that is important here. So if this conductor pointing east-west direction, then only an EMF is induced. If the same conductor pointing north-south direction, see here, this is the conductor pointing east-west direction, then it moves upwards or downwards, then it cuts the magnetic field. But if the same conductor pointing north-south direction, south-north direction, maybe it moves downwards or upwards, it moves inwards in like this, it does not cuts horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. It does not cuts the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. So that is induced EMF in this situation. See here, this is the conductor pointing north-south direction. It moves like this, or it moves upwards or downwards. In any situation, it does not cuts, because it is in the same direction of magnetic field. If it moves upwards or downwards, magnetic field remains same. It moves in this direction or in this direction, magnetic field does not changes. So that's why induced EMF, that means the flux does not generated. The flux developed is equals to 0. If the flux is 0, induced EMF is also 0. So that is. So you have to assume that east-west, north-south. The conductor here pointing towards east-west. Then it moves downwards or upwards, vertical plane, because this is the direction of BH. If the conductor moves upwards or downwards, then it cuts the magnetic field. For example, assume that the situation is, for example, 50 threads are arranged like this in this direction, from this wall to this wall. 50 threads are arranged. If your knife is traveling vertically downwards here, what happens? Knife cuts the threads. So that means the same situation, this is the conductor pointing east-west, and the direction of BH is horizontal direction. So it is moving downwards or upwards. What happens? It cuts the magnetic field. So that's why magnetic field must be changes. So that's why flux developed. So that is area of cross section changes here. Area of cross section changes. So that is. Now next situation is this. Now the same situation, one more thing here. So same thing, if the conductor moving on the horizontal table along the table, then what happens? Then it cuts, then the conductor cuts vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, cuts vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. It cuts vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. So that means how this is, see here, this is the horizontal table, and if this is a conductor, if the conductor moves in this direction or in this direction like this, it cuts the vertical component. How it cuts the vertical component? What is the direction of BH? From south to north. Then what is the direction of vertical component? Upwards. Upwards. So in the magnetic meridian, B can be divided into two components. One is horizontal, another one is vertical component. Horizontal component is always from south to north, and vertical component is like this. Now this is the table. Let us say this is the conductor moving on the table. This is the conductor moving on the table like this. What happens? This conductor, this is the direction of vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. Vertical component. So for example, this is the conductor. If it moves like this, then what happens? It cuts the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. So conductor cuts the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. So that's why therefore flux is equals to, so BA, for example, see here, let us do, this is the table, this is the conductor moving in this direction. So that's, so let us say it is y, and it is the length of the conductor, and it is y. So flux developed is equals to BLY. B into A, area is nothing but length into breadth. So now here induced EMF is equals to minus d phi by dt minus d by dt of, it is BVLY. B suffix V in the sense vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, BVL into dV dy by dt. Therefore E is equals to minus BVLV. So this is one more the condition. If the conductor moving on the horizontal table and this is the direction of vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, then it moves like this, then it cuts the vertical component. That's why E is equals to minus BV LY, BV into LV like this. So this is the, and one more situation here. So next, let's do some examples based on this in notional EMF. This is the resistance R1 and this is the resistance R2, and this is the current carrying conductor, maybe moves in this direction with velocity V, and the direction of the magnetic field is inwards. Here this is the direction of the magnetic field. What is the direction of the current? So according to Fleming's right hand rule, forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, that is inwards, and the thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor, and this is central finger indicates the direction of the current. So this is direction. This is negative terminal and this is positive terminal. In the external circuits, the current passes like that. In the external circuit, here this is I divides into, let us say it is I1 and it is I2. According to Fleming's right hand rule, forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor, and central finger indicates the direction of the induced current. So that is, this conductor acts as a energy source, that means battery. That conductor acts as a battery. So inside that battery, the current flows from negative terminal to positive terminal, like that. So this is the direction of the current here, and here the current divides here. So here, what is the induced EMF here? Induced EMF is equals to, so we know induced EMF is equals to generally BLB. L where L is the length of the conductor and B is the magnetic field and V is the velocity of the conductor, that is the induced EMF. What is the total amount of current passes through the conductor? So current passing through the conductor. What is the current passing through the conductor? So current formula is E by resistance or effective. Here the two resistances are in parallel. So if the two resistances are in parallel, effective resistance is R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So therefore I is equals to, E is nothing but BLB divided by R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So that is equals to BLB into R1 plus R2 by R1 R2. I is equals to BLB into R1 plus R2 by R1 plus R2. So this is the current, total amount of current passed, total amount of current developed, here it is. So E is nothing but EMF. EMF is nothing but the potential. That's why I is equals to E by R. R effective is equals to, so if the two resistances are in parallel, so effective resistance. So that is E is equals to BLB into R1 plus R2 by R1 R2. This is the current. What is the current passes through R1? What is the current passing through R1? So that is I1 is equals to, here these two are in parallel. See here, these two resistances are in parallel. If two resistances are in parallel, potential must be same, that means EMF is same, that means E by R1. So I1 is equals to, let us say, BLB by R1. That is the current passes through the first resistance. Then what is the current passing through the second resistance? Current passing through second resistance. So second resistance R2. I2 is equals to E by R2. So I2 is equals to, E is again BLB divided by R2. So because these two are in parallel, so that means potential must be same. These two are in parallel, that's why potential must be same. So that's why BLB by R1 and it is BLB by R2, like this. So this is the concept here. If this is the conductor flowing, moving like this, this is the direction of the magnetic field and the current divides like this. In the external circuit, current passes from positive to negative terminal, but inside the battery, current flows from negative terminal to positive terminal. So that means this conductor acts as the energy source, that means it acts as a cell, that is. So that is one example, here it is. So for example, here in the same situation, in the same problem, if the conductor having resistance, R the same conductor having the resistance R. Then what is the total R effective? R effective is R1 comma R2 are in parallel. R1 comma R2 are in parallel. Therefore, R dash is equals to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. And here R dash and R are in series. So, this is having certain resistance R. This conductor also having certain resistance R. So, that is why R dash and R are in series now. So, therefore, R effective in this situation is R plus R dash. So, R plus R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. R effective is equals to R plus R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. This is the R effective. So, therefore, induced EMF is nothing but BLV. So, total current is equals to E by R effective. So, that is I is equals to E by R effective is R plus R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. So, that is the total current. So, like that. This is the way to calculate the current passes through the conductor. What is the total current? We calculated that. When this situation, if this conductor is also having certain resistance, that conductor also having certain resistance. Next. Next, in the same situation, this resistance, and let us say this capacitor is connected like this, and this is the conductor moving with velocity v here, and this is the direction of the magnetic field. This is the direction of the magnetic field, and capacitance of the capacitor is C. C is the capacitance of the capacitor. Here C is the capacitance of the capacitor. So, now this is inverse. So, here we have to find charge accumulated on the capacitor. Charge accumulated on the capacitor. So, for example, here in this situation, due to the motion of this conductor, let us say length of the conductor is E. What is the EMF induced here? Directly we can write it as induced EMF is equals to generally BLV. BLV. Then charge can be written as Q is equals to CV. In capacitance chapter we discussed. So, Q is equals to C into potential. What is the developed potential? Here it is Q is equals to C into BLV. Q is equals to C. That is the charge accumulated on the capacitor. Simple formula. C is the capacitor, and here the conductor moves in this direction or in this direction, anything, whatever it is. The EMF induced is equals to BLV. EMF induced is equals to BLV. What is the charge? What is the charge accumulated? That is Q is equals to CV, C into BLV. So, that is the one. Next. So, next one more example. Let us, we have the example in this textbook we have. Monday connection 227. Oh, that problem is not mentioned. It's okay, it's not mentioned here. Let us say it is having certain resistance, and this is one conductor and this is another conductor. This conductor moves in this direction. So let us say its resistance is 10 ohms and resistance is 5 ohms, and here the velocity is, here its velocity is, let us say 4 meters per second, and here its velocity is 2 meters per second, like that, and here its resistance is 5 and its resistance is, let us say 20, and the direction of the magnetic field is inwards here. So the direction of the magnetic field is inwards. Then what is the current through this middle region? What is the current through the middle region? So that's we have to calculate now. We don't have this problem here. So that is, so the magnetic field, given that, so the magnetic field is, let us say 2 Tesla, whatever it is, the magnetic field is. If it is moving like this, if it is moving like this, what is the direction of the induced currents? So this is negative terminal and it becomes positive terminal, and this is I1, current passes through this. And let us say, and this is I1, and here I1 divides into two components. So this is I1 minus I2, and the current passes. Here it is I2. So according to Fleming's right hand rule, now don't use left hand rule, left or right hand rule we have to use, so this is condition. Thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor, and forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field, central finger indicates direction of the current. This is negative and this becomes positive terminal, and this is I1. External circuits, current passes through this. In the external circuit, current passes from positive to negative. Here I1 divides. So let us say it is I1 minus I2 and it is I2. What is this one? So this is the direction of the current carrying conductor. So forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor, central finger indicates the direction of induced current. This is negative and this is positive, and this is I2. So inside the conductor the current passes from negative terminal to positive terminal. So that is, so this is the situation. So this is first one and this is second one. Apply, let us say it is first loop and this is second loop. So that is the situation. Got it? So according to the definition of Fleming's right hand rule, forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor, central finger indicates the direction of induced current, that is negative to positive. So here I divides into two components, I1 minus I2, and let us say it is I2. Here this one, the direction of I2 is upwards. What is I1 and what is I2? That's we have to calculate now. First, so E is equals to generally BLV, length of the conductor. So B is 2. Let us say the distance between these two rails is 50 centimeters. So that means length of the conductor is 50 cm, that is 0.5 into 2. So how much it is? 2 into 0.5 into 2, 4, 5 is 2 only. Next, here this is E1. Next, This is 10 ohms and this is 20 ohms resistance, and this is again 5 ohms. In the same way, E2 is equals to, so BLB it is 2 into distance is 0.5, velocity is 4. How much it is? 4. E2 is 4. So applying Kirchhoff's law here, so these two, here we have two resistances. Applying Kirchhoff's law, for first loop. So just I am driving like this in this direction. So this is, here we are moving opposite to the direction of the current, that is positive. So that is 10 I1, and here in the direction of current minus, sorry, here also it is opposite. This is the direction of I1, here it is plus 20 into I1 minus I2 is equals to some 2, that is the E1 value. So from this 10 I1 plus 20 I1 minus 20 I2 is equals to 2. So 30 I1 minus 20 I2 is equals to 2. Next, for this loop, again here also I am considering like this, in this direction. So minus, for second loop, in the direction of the current, minus 20 into I1 minus I2 plus 5 I2 is equals to 4. Here we are moving like this. This is the direction. In the direction of the current, potential is negative. Opposite to the direction of the current, potential is positive. So that is minus 20 I1 plus 20 I2 plus 5 I2 is equals to 4. Minus 20 I1 plus 25 I2 is equals to 4. Just by solving these two, we can get that. So 30 I1 minus 20 I2 is equals to 2, and minus 20 I1 plus 25 I2 is equals to 4. Dividing on both sides, for these two, dividing on both sides with 10, 3 I1 first equate 2 I2 is equals to 0.2. This becomes minus 2 I1 plus 2.5 I2 is equals to 0.4. Then multiplication, multiply with 2, 6 I1 minus 4 I2 is equals to 0.4. Next here, minus 6 I1 plus 7.5 I2 is equals to 1.2. 6 I1, 6 I1 cancel. 3.5 I2 is equals to addition 1.2, 1.6. I2 is equals to 1.6 by 3.5. So that is 16 by 35 amperes. I2 is equals to 16 by 35 amperes. Next, in the same way, I1. So because current this Y2 we have to, I1 we have to calculate. So here 3 I1 is equals to 2 I2 plus 0.2. So 3 I1 is equals to 2 into I2 is 16 by 35 plus 0.2. So 3 I1 is equals to 32 by 35 plus 0.2. So 3 I1 is equals to 35 into 0.2, 7, 39 by 35. So therefore I1 is equals to 39 by 105. 39 by 105, that is I1. So therefore current passes through the middle region, I1 minus I2, 39 by 105 minus 16 by 35. So that is the situation. So that is the current pass. So if the problems are given like that, this is the concept. If one conductor moving in this direction, another conductor moving in this direction. One conductor moving in this direction, another one is in this direction. Now EMF is here and here, two EMFs calculated, that has the two EMFs. Here EMF is more and here EMF is less, like that. What is the current through the middle region? So just we are applying Kirchhoff's laws in the first loop and second loop. So that is the condition. Generally EMF formula is BLV. Next, one more problem, one more example here. Two conducting rings of radius small r and 2r move in opposite direction with velocities to v and v respectively on a conducting surface S. There is a uniform magnetic field of magnitude B perpendicular to the plane of the rings. The potential difference between the highest point of the two rings is. So this is one ring, small ring, and this is big ring. These two are on the conducting surface. Here this surface is conducting surface. Here this radius is r and this radius is 2r. It moves with velocity 2v and it moves with velocity v. It moves with velocity v. Now what is the direction of the magnitude? Direction of magnetic field is B, like that. Inverse magnetic field. So that is inverse magnetic field exists. Now what is the direction of the induced EMF here? So according to Fleming's right hand rule we must use, and this is the direction of the magnetic field. This in forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field and thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor and central finger indicates the direction of the induced EMF. So that is negative to positive. So here higher to higher, that becomes negative terminal and second one becomes positive terminal. If it acts as the battery, if this diameter acts as the battery, then upper terminal acts as negative and lower terminal acts as positive, because this is the situation. Forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field, thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor, central finger indicates the direction of current. Current always flows from negative terminal to positive terminal, like that. So this is E1 and this is the conducting surface. This is the conducting surface. The current passes through this one. Next here. So this is the direction of the magnetic field. Forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field and the central finger indicates, thumb indicates the direction of motion of the conductor and central finger indicates the direction of current. So that means here this is negative and this is positive, like this. Here this is the situation. Central finger indicates, central finger upward, it shows upward direction. That means here the lower terminal is considered as negative, upper terminal is considered as positive. So this is E2, this is E1 and this is E2, EMFs. So the potential difference, let us say here the potential difference is V1 and here the potential difference is E2. The potential difference between V1 minus V2 can be written as E1 plus E2, because actually if this is positive, this is negative, then we can write difference, but this is negative, positive, positive, negative. So net EMF is nothing but sum of these two, because opposite terminals are connected. So that is the situation. So now calculate first E1. E1 formula is BLB anything. What is B? Okay, B length is nothing but diameter, that is 2r, velocity is 2v. So here length of the conductor is nothing but diameter. So of course the ring is flowing, the diameter remains constant. So that's why this is 4BRV, that is E1. E1 is equals to 4BRV. Next, in the same way, E2 is equals to here also the formula is BLB, induced EMF. So B into L is here 4R. So because the radius is 2R, diameter is 4R. So is 4BRV. E1 is 4BRV and E2 is equals to also 4BRV. So therefore potential difference is equals to E1 plus E2. So 4BRV plus 4BRV. So that is equals to 8BRV. The potential difference is equals to how much? 8BRV. So this is the situation. Two rings or two conducting rings are moving opposite direction on the conducting surface. Then the potential difference between these two is how much it is? 8BRV. Next.
ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి జేఈఈ అయినా నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.